Okay, I hope I am audible to all students who are attending the lecture today. We continue with discrete probability distribution in stats, and this is the last topic of this particular chapter, which you can see on your screens. Okay, this is called as the binomial probability distribution. Now, binomial theorem is something you have done in maths also in schools. We've done this in class 11th, 12th. Okay. Um, so let's talk about binomial probability distribution. So first of all, let us see which distribution qualifies as a binomial experiment. Which experiment actually qualifies as a binomial experiment? So a binomial experiment is an experiment which satisfies the following conditions. The experiment consists of a sequence of n smaller experiments called trials. Their n is fixed in advance. That means when you are conducting a binomial experiment, it further consists of n smaller experiments, which we call as trials. Second, each trial consists of two possible outcomes. One is denoted by success and another outcome is failure. So that means whatever experiments we have in binomial distribution consists of binary outcomes, success and failure. Okay, the trials are independent so that outcome on any particular trial does not influence the outcome of any other trial. That means when we are conducting a binomial experiment, every trial is independent of the another trial. So one trial will not have an impact on the other trial. Okay. The probability of success, which is P, is constant from trial to trial. Okay. That means probability of getting a success is roughly constant from trial to trial. So I am again revising it. On your screens, you can see binomial probability distribution. But to understand this, let us first talk about the binomial experiment. What is a binomial experiment? An experiment is said to be a binomial experiment if it satisfies the following conditions. The first condition is that the experiment consists of n smaller experiments called trials, where the number n is fixed in advance. Each trial consists of two possible outcomes. One is called success, another is called failure. Okay, the trials are independent of each other so that outcome on any particular trial does not influence the outcome of any other trial. The probability of success, which is P, is constant from trial to trial. Okay, so let's look at the example. Suppose a certain city has 50 licensed restaurants, of which 15 currently have at least one serious health code violation and 35 restaurants have no serious violations. There are 5 inspectors, each of whom will inspect one restaurant during the coming week. The name of each restaurant is written on a different slip of paper, and after the slips are thoroughly mixed, each inspector in turn draws one of the slips without replacement. Okay, so success here denotes what? Success here. So I hope you understood the question first. There are 50 licensed restaurants. Okay, and out of these 50 restaurants, 15 restaurants violate a serious health code violation, whereas 35 have no serious violations. That means 35 of them are meeting all the health code laws which are there, whereas the 15 restaurants are not meeting it. 5 inspectors are coming to inspect the restaurant. Okay, the name of all 50 restaurants are written on a piece of paper and the slips are thoroughly mixed, and each inspector draws one slip without replacement. So success here means you are finally picking up a restaurant which has no serious violation. Failure here means you are picking a restaurant which has one serious health code violation. So what is the probability of success on the first trial? It means you pick up a restaurant and it turns out to be the restaurant which has no serious health code violation. That is 35 by 50, which is 0.7. Okay. Then probability of success on the second trial. Now, if I talk about success in the second trial, that means, now what does this mean? Second trial means what? The first trial has already been conducted. It means the first sheet of paper has already been chosen. Now the first sheet of paper I chose, the first restaurant can be a failure or it can be a success. So my probability is PSS. PSS means first restaurant failure, second restaurant success, or means plus. First restaurant also success and second restaurant also success. So I hope all students have understood it. Success in the second trial means what? Success in the second trial means failure in the first trial and success in the second trial, or success in the first trial and success in the second trial. Now, what's the probability of PSS? First is a failure, so 15 by 50 into the denominator will reduce by 1, 49, because it's without replacement. So 35 by 49 plus PSS. PSS means first restaurant was also success, second restaurant is also success. So 35 by 50 into 34 by 49. Now that comes out to be, again if you see, it comes out to be 0.7. Success on the second trial also comes out to be 0.7. Similarly, you will observe what is the probability of success on the fifth trial, given that the first 4 are successes. Probability of success on the fifth trial, given that the first 4 are successes. So I can come to the whiteboard. So we are doing this question, and remember, probability of success here is 35 by 50. And probability of failure here is 15 by 50. So what's the probability of success in the first trial? We had found out what's the probability of success. Probability of success on the first trial is 35 by 50, which is 0.7. Okay, now I want to ask you, let us see whether this is a binomial experiment or not. Now, if this is a binomial experiment, every trial should be independent of the previous trial. So look at it. What is the probability of success? What's the probability of success on the fifth trial? Probability of success on the fifth trial, given that the first 4 were also successes. That means now I'm choosing the fifth restaurant. What is the probability that the fifth restaurant is also a success, given that the first 4 are successes? So if the first 4 are successes, that means 35 by 50 into, so how will I, let me tell you how will I solve the probability first. All of you know what's the probability of A given B? Probability of A given B is A intersection B upon probability of B. All of us know this formula. So this will be probability of success on the fifth trial intersection probability of success in the first 4 trials probability of success in the first 4 trials divided by probability of success in the first 4 trials. Right? Probability of A intersection B upon probability of B. So probability of success on the 5th trial intersection probability of success in the first 4 trials upon probability of success in the first 4 trials. So this will be how much? The numerator will be first restaurant a success, second restaurant a success, third restaurant a success, fourth restaurant a success. All this is happening without replacement. And the 5th restaurant is also a success. Divided by the first 4 restaurants are a success. That means 35 by 40 into 34 by 49 into 33 by 48 into 32 by 47. So my numerator is, if I see the intersection, what does this mean? This means that my first 5 restaurants are a success. And the denominator means the first 4 restaurants are a success. So you can see this gets cancelled with this gets cancelled with this cancels with this cancels with this. What is my answer? 31 by 46. And 31 by 46 is how much? 0.67. Now, had this been a binomial experiment, this should have come out to be 0.7, but it's not coming out to be 0.7. For a binomial experiment, this should have been 0.7 because trials are independent. Probability of success on the 5th trial should be the same as probability of success on the first trial. But you can see it's not coming out to be same. It's coming out to be 0.67 and not 0.7. That means this is not a binomial experiment. Similarly, if I ask you to calculate this, suppose I ask you to calculate this. Probability of success on the 5th trial, given that the first 4 are failures. So this will be, what will the probability will now be? Let's check this out. This will be probability of now I can show you this. This will be probability of success on the 5th trial, the intersection with failures in the first 4 trials upon probability of failure in the first 4 trials. So what's the probability of failure in the first trial? 15 by 50. Failure in the second trial, 14 by 49. Failure in the third trial, 13 by 48. Failure in the fourth trial, 12 by 47. But success in the 5th trial, 35 by 46. That's the success in the 5th trial. Divided by failure in the first 4 trials, that means 15 by 40 into 14 by 49 into 13 by 48 into 12 by 47. All these cancel out. What am I left with? 35 by 46. And how much it comes out to be? 0.76. You can again see it's not the same as 0.7. For this to be a binomial experiment, this number should have come out to be 0.7. That means it is not a binomial experiment because it is not meeting the condition of independent trials. Now guys, had the trials been independent, you should have got 0.7 throughout. But the moment I do conditional probability, the moment I make the 5th trial dependent on the first 4 trials, I am not getting 0.7. I am getting 0.76. Or in that case, I was getting 0.67. That means the trials are not independent. And since this condition is not met, therefore we can say that this is not a binomial experiment. So this whole example was taken. Why did I take this example? This example was taken just to show you how do we find out whether an experiment is binomial or not. Very simple. If an experiment is binomial, it should qualify all the conditions. And the conditions of the binomial experiment are, which you can see on your screen. These are the conditions of a binomial experiment. Okay, so which condition was not satisfied in our example? Condition 3. The trials are independent, so that outcome on any particular trial does not influence outcome of other trials. We should have got, in this example, we should have got 0.7 throughout. So now you can see this. You can see probability of success on the 5th trial given the first 4 are successes. We calculated this on the whiteboard. It comes out to be 0.67. And probability of success on the 5th trial given that the first 4 are failures is 0.76. So clearly the above experiment is not binomial because trials are not independent. Okay, so I hope all students have understood the example till now. Anyone who has doubt, has not understood, can quickly unmute your mic and ask before we move forward. Those who have doubts can unmute your mic and ask. I hope it's clear to all students. You can unmute your mic and ask your doubt, or you can do one thing. You can also send me on chat. Your doubt you can send me on chat so I can look at it and I can solve it. Okay, so now since there is no doubt I expect, so let's move to another example. Now let us see, look at example 2 on your screen. Let us see whether this is a binomial experiment or not. So a certain state has 500,000 licensed drivers, of whom 400,000 are insured. A sample of 10 drivers is chosen without replacement. The ith trial is labeled as success if the ith driver chosen is insured. Okay, so that means if I look at example 2, let me come to the whiteboard to explain. So if I look at example 2 of the handout, okay, there are 500,000 licensed drivers, of whom 400,000 are insured, and the remaining 100,000 are not insured. Now what you need to understand is success is what? Success is ith driver being insured, and failure is ith driver is not insured. Okay, now if I ask you what is the probability of getting a success in the first go, it will be 400,000 divided by 500,000, which will be 4 by 5, which is 0.8. I ask you, what is the probability of, so look at this, what is the probability of success on the second driver given that the first driver is also success? What is the probability of success on the second driver given that the first driver is also success? It will be probability of success on the second driver intersection success on the first driver upon probability of success on the first driver. This will be 400,000 upon 500,000 into 399,999 upon 499,999 upon what's the probability of success on the first driver? It is 400,000 divided by 500,000. So this and this cancel. We are left with 399 upon. Now if you calculate this amount, it will roughly come out to be 0.8 only. You can check it. It will come out to be 0.8 only. Okay. Similarly, if I ask you, what is the probability of success on the 10th driver given that the first 9 drivers are also success? Now I leave it as an exercise for you to be done at home. What's the probability that the 10th driver is also insured given that the first 9 drivers are also insured? You will observe it will also come out to be 0.799, which is approximately 0.8. So you can see it's coming out to be 0.8 throughout. That means I can say that trials are independent of each other. That means this is a binomial experiment. This is a binomial experiment. Why? Because trials are independent of each other. Because trials are independent. Probability of success on the first trial is also 0.8. Probability of success on the second trial, given that the first trial is success, is also 0.8. And similarly here also. So I hope all the students have understood the example. So now we want to question why the first example did not qualify as a binomial experiment and the second example did. So we come at a very important conclusion. So look at the conclusion I am writing. So this is the rule. Let me write the rule for you. Consider sampling without replacement. Consider sampling without replacement from a dichotomous population of size n. Consider sampling without replacement from a dichotomous population of size n. Dichotomous means it consists of 2 outcomes, success and failure. Okay? If the sample size small n is at most 5% of the population size, capital N, then the experiment can be approximated. Then the experiment can be approximated as a binomial experiment. The experiment can be approximated as a binomial experiment. So therefore my condition is what? My sample size n should be at most 5% of the population size. This is my condition. So if I do a comparison, We have done two examples till now. This was example 1, if you remember, of the handout. This was example 2. A quick recall. In example 1, we had 50 licensed restaurants. We had 50 licensed restaurants. Okay. So what was this? This was my capital N, population size. And what was small n? Small n was 5, because if you remember, 5 inspectors are there. And every inspector chooses one restaurant. If you look at the example in the lecture note, there are 5 inspectors and every inspector chooses one restaurant. So that means my small n is 5. Now, therefore, if I calculate small n by capital N, that will be 5 upon 50. If I multiply this into percentage, it will be 5 tens are, this is 10%. But it has to be at most 5%. So therefore, I can say that this is not a binomial experiment. 10%, why? 10% is more than the 5%. So this is not a binomial experiment. That is why you were seeing that it's not a binomial experiment. But in example 2, if you remember, there were 500,000 licensed drivers. This was my capital N, which is the population size, and a sample of 10 drivers was chosen. So here, my small n by capital N is 10 upon $500,000, 500,000 licensed drivers, sorry. If I convert this into percentage, multiply by 100, so 0 cancels and this cancels, so this is still 1 upon 500. And how much is 1 upon 500? 1 upon 500 is definitely less than 5%. You can see 1 upon 500 is 0.002. And it's definitely less than 5%. So that means this is a binomial experiment. So I hope all the students are clear with this. Your small n by capital N should, I can write it like this also to make it more clear. Or I can say small n by capital N should be less than equal to 0.05. Both are correct. Okay. N should be less than equal to 5% of capital N, or n by capital N should be less than 0.05. You can see here it was coming out to be 10%, here it's coming out to be 0.002. That is why this was not a binomial experiment, but this is a binomial experiment. So I hope all students have understood. Is there any doubt to anyone? Please feel free to ask. Anyone who has any doubt can unmute your mic and ask. If in case you are not audible, you can send your doubt on chat. Okay. So then I'm erasing it off. Okay. Now let's write the next thing. Binomial distribution. So what is meant by binomial distribution? Okay. So the binomial distribution with parameters n and p is the probability distribution. The binomial distribution with parameters n and p is the probability distribution of the number of successes in n trials with the probability of success in each trial being p. The binomial distribution with parameters n and p is the probability distribution of the number of successes in n trials with the probability of success in each trial being equal to p. So therefore, I can define binomial distribution where x is a binomial random variable, n and p are parameters, is nothing but ncx p to the power x 1 minus p to the power n minus x, where x takes integer values 0, 1, 2, n and 0 otherwise. This is my binomial distribution. So binomial distribution has two parameters, n and p. P denotes the probability of success, n denotes the number of trials, x denotes the binomial random variable. Okay, so b of x and p is ncx. It's a combination, okay, ncx p to the power x 1 minus p to the power n minus x, where x takes integer values 0, 1, 2 and n and 0 otherwise. Okay, so I hope this is clear to all the students. Any doubts, please feel free to ask. So I can take an example to explain it. So suppose my outcome, suppose my n is 4. Suppose my number of trials is 4. Okay, and suppose my outcome comes out to be success, 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 success. I conduct the experiment 4 times and all the 4 times I get success. So what is my x? My x is 4, number of successes. What will be its corresponding probability? It is ncx p to the power x 1 minus p to the power n minus x, which will be n is 4 and x is also 4. So 4c4 p to the power 4 1 minus p to the power 4 minus 4, which will be 4c4 p to the power 4 1 minus p to the power 0. 4c4 is 1 into p to the power 4 into 1 minus p to the power 0 is again 1. So my answer is p to the power 4. If my outcome comes out to be success, 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 failure, what is my x here? X denotes number of successes. X denotes number of successes. So my x here is 3. We have 3 successes. My probability will be ncx, that means 4c3 p to the power 3 1 minus p to the power 4 minus 3, which is 1. So this will be, what will 4c3 be? 4c3 will be 4 p cube into 1 minus p. The probability of getting success, 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 failure, this will be, that means this is what? This is nothing but bxnp, which is b, what is x? X is 3, n is 4 and p. So b of 3, 4p is nothing but 4p cube 1 minus p. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone. Guys, understand this. If I just talk about this outcome, success, first success, second success, third success, but the last one is failure. So if I only talk about this, this will be p cube into 1 minus p. But this itself can arrange in how many ways? It can arrange itself in 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 factorial upon 3 factorial ways. I hope all students are able to understand. If I only talk about SSSF, the probability is P cube into 1 minus P. But SSSF can itself arrange in how many ways? 4 factorial upon 3 factorial, because we have 3 successes. So this will be how much? Exactly 4. That is why it is 4P cube into 1 minus P. I hope all students are clear with this. I hope there is no doubt. Okay, then the last thing in this meeting, and then we stop. Let X follow a binomial distribution with parameters n and p. Then the cumulative distribution function, of X is given by capital B X N P is nothing but what was CDF, if you remember? Probability of X taking the value less than equal to small x. That means summation as y goes on from 0 to small x, the mass function which is B of Y and P. Capital B denotes cumulative distribution function, okay, and B denotes binomial distribution function, okay. So capital B denotes cumulative distribution function. I can write CDF, and small b denotes binomial distribution function. So capital BXNP is probability of X less than equal to a particular small x, which means as Y goes on from 0 to that small x, the binomial distribution function. So I hope till here it's clear to everyone.